Hi, everyone. Good evening, good morning, good day. Terilee Harrison here with Team Referral Network Virtual Chapters with another episode of Team Talk Live. And today, all my guests are amazing and extraordinary, but we're going to have a lot of fun today. I want to introduce you and welcome Jan Janzen to Team Talk Live. Welcome, Jan.
Well, thank you so much, Terilee. I am excited to be here, and we are going to have fun. I guarantee it.
Oh no, I'm sure we will. And I am certain after what I've seen and done to prepare for this, I'm certain we will. So let me introduce you formally to Jan, and then we'll get to know her better. So Jan Janzen is with the Sales Queens International. She's a sales trainer, a business coach, a money coach, and she helps you learn to sell with confidence, love the money conversation, and increase your revenue. Who doesn't want some more of that? She's coming to us tonight from British Columbia, Canada. And just welcome, Jan. So glad that you're here.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Terilee, for having me. It's an honor. You know, I just love the whole V Team network. It's been such a blessing in my life. So thank you to you for all that you do.
Oh, no, it's my pleasure. And it's really my honor and blessing to be with all of you and to help bring this global organization together and be connecting us all to such amazing people. I feel so grateful and appreciative every single day for everyone. So my pleasure, my pleasure. So that was a really great formal introduction that we had. And if I was to ask you for fun, would you share one thing with us that people might not know about you to get to know you better? What would you say? What would you like to share today?
Well, Terilee, you know, I've been an entrepreneur for 40 years and I've done a lot of different things, but probably the most outrageous and the most controversial business I ever had was my pole dancing business. Now, this was 2004. Everybody was pole dancing. You know, Oprah was pole dancing. Barbara Walters was pole dancing. It was kind of the hit. And I had a girlfriend invite me to a stagette that was a pole dancing party. And I hated it. I mean, I thought, oh my goodness, you know, I had spent 38 years of my life as a Jehovah's Witness. So the idea kind of swinging around this pole was kind of like, you know, and so I went home. I couldn't wait to go home. I wanted it to end. And that night I got downloaded a complete blueprint for a pole dancing business called A Pole Lot of Fun. And in the morning I got up and I thought, wow, that's kind of wild. I decided to go ahead with it, much to the chagrin and horror of some of my friends, and others just thought it was the coolest thing. And I ended up creating a business in the box and literally took it across Canada, sold distributorships through this, you know, of A Pole Lot of Fun. The media loved it because I had just finished my ministerial training and had become a non-denominational minister. So they actually dubbed me the pole dancing minister. So it was really a lot of fun. I was sharing this in the V Team meeting, this presentation this week, and I could just kind of see the look on women's faces. I don't look like a pole dancer. I am not really a pole dancer, but it was so much for the empowerment of women. It was just totally cool. It was really neat. But that's my most outrageous business.
Oh, I appreciate you saying it. Now we get to know you better. We see your creativity and your vast background. And I have to say, if that was the in thing back in 2004 that Oprah and everyone was doing, I don't know how I missed it, but I did. So let's see if it happens to make a comeback. I don't know. Anyway, great. So that was awesome. So thank you for sharing that. So I have to tell you, I don't really have a plan for us today. I would love for you to share more about what you're up to in the world. And then I think that my main purpose of showing up today is to be a guinea pig. So, right? Is that or
well, you're not a guinea pig. I mean, I've done a lot of what I'm going to do with you, but it's just kind of fun because I've never done it on a Facebook Live. So it's going to be.
So we're doing it on a Facebook Live, and I'm going to learn what Jan teaches all in front of you. I guess that's where the guinea pig comes in, is that I'm willing to just do what we would normally do privately out in public here with Jan.
Yeah.
So, Jan,
now we're not taking off our clothes or doing anything like that. So don't worry. Okay. This has nothing to do with the pole dancing.
Yeah. So this is for Jan's coaching business. So Jan, take it away.
Well, you know, Terilee, because I had spent, you know, so many of my years as a Jehovah's Witness, my life was very dedicated and it was very regimented and structured. And so when I left them in, you know, 1999, one of the things that I really felt I was missing was traveling. and things didn't kind of work out. I ended up, homeless, and I ended up almost bankrupt, and I ended up living in a cabin with rats running up and down the walls. But, when I did get my life together, and I did, and it turned out really, really quite remarkably, I ended up being able to travel the world for 9 years, and I lived out of 2 suitcases. And I traveled to places like Laos and Cambodia and El Salvador and, Vietnam and, Philippines and places like that. And it was really remarkable. But I also saw a tremendous amount of suffering. The women suffered, the children suffered, the animals. I mean, I can still see the starving cats and, the dogs and things like that. So it was really tough, even though it was amazing. And I'm so glad I did it. But, when I came back to Canada, it took us a while to get settled, and we ended up on 20 amazing acres. And, there was some work to do because, when you've been on the road for 9 years, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't get taken care of. And so last year I decided, like, what do I want to do when I grow up? 40 years of being an entrepreneur. What do I want to do? And I realized that I wanted to make a massive difference in the lives of women in business. And the best thing to do was to teach them how to sell, because if you don't sell, if you're not having sales conversations, really, you just have an expensive hobby, right? Mm-hmm. So, and women avoid that sales conversation like it was COVID, like they're like, I don't want to do that. Or they decide that they're going to just wing it because they've never really had any training. So what I wanted to do was create a really solid sales training program that was meant for women and women entrepreneurs. And that's how Sales Queens International was born, because I want to see women in developed countries earn a lot of money so that we can not only have the life that we know that we deserve, but also make a massive difference in the lives of so many women in, developing countries that could really do with our help.
So important, right?
So important, So important. And right now, Terilee, people are shocked when I tell them that in Canada, they did a study, PayPal did a study. So this isn't like the National Enquirer. This is like PayPal. They did a study, and women in Canada, the entrepreneurs, earn $68,000 less than a male entrepreneur. Now, wow. That is, like, to me, a crime and a shame, and it makes me just want to cry, because we work really super hard. And of all the venture capital that's available, women get between 3 to 7%, and men get the rest, right? So it's not that we don't work hard. It's not that we're not successful. It's just that we have a lot of financial stuff that's in our way. And, I always say everything starts in your mind. So, that's where you really got to make those shifts.
Yep. So I love what you're doing, and it's so important, and for obvious reasons, right? It's like, how can this be? How can this be? So can you show us, using me, one way that you work with people?
Okay, absolutely. I actually, I became certified as a sacred money archetype coach. So I actually use, these are your cards, let me see here. These are your cards. And so I basically have people do an assessment, and which is what you did today for me. And then I just work with the top 3. So there's 8 different money archetypes. So just to give you an understanding of archetypes, this isn't like, oh, well, this is what I am this week, and next week I might be something else. This is the blueprint of your soul. You don't change it. It's not like hair color or an outfit. Okay. This is who you are. And so what happens is that, I'll talk to a woman, and she'll say, I just feel like there's like such a conflict. Like, I just have no peace around money. Like, I just have, one side of me is kind of going, I want this, and another side, no, you got to do this. And consequently, there's a lot of confusion that goes on. And because we've never really been taught lots of times as women much about money, or really have had a healthy upbringing around money, then it all just gets kind of confused, and we just kind of eke out a living. And that's really where so many women are today. I mean, and brilliant women, right? I mean, I was almost bankrupt and homeless. So, it's not that you have to, it's just not, you can't say that it only happens to a certain kind of people, right? But after my divorce, it happened to me. So that's why I love the sacred money archetypes, because they help you to understand that. So your first one is nurturer, which means that you are a giver and a giver, and then a giver, and then you give some more. So you're a great friend to have, because you give and give and give and give and give. And oftentimes a nurturer will not only give, but they also will give for less than the value that something is worth, or they'll be the one that discounts it, or they'll just say, oh, well, they just needed some help, and I just wanted to do it for free. And so oftentimes, depending on what the second and third archetype is, a nurturer will often really be struggling financially because they just don't have anything that offsets that incredibly generous spirit. Now, your second archetype is the celebrity, and the celebrity loves to spend money. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So you have, first of all, just think about this, Terilee. You have on one side, you have, the nurturer over here who's going, give it away. No, give more, over deliver. Okay. It's too high. Lower your price. Okay. And then over here, you've got the celebrity that's going, oh, look at that gorgeous handbag. Ooh, look at those shoes. Oh. And so the funny thing about the celebrity and you is that one of the big things about a celebrity is they love to help others make a great impression. Now, isn't that what really V-Team is all about? Okay? Pretty much. So you have no problem spending money on things that are, you think are important to you, and to make sure that, you always look good, which you always do, and so those two are kind of interesting, but you throw a really interesting little one as a third one, which is the accumulator. And the accumulator is an inner banker. They are frugal. They like to save money. And they watch their pennies. Now she's looking at me going, yeah, because what I suspect happens is that the celebrity and the nurturer, rule the roost here. And so the accumulator, you may often find that you hear that little voice in your head going, Terilee, you're spending too much money, or Terilee, you're giving away too much, or Terilee, you should be charging more. Do you hear those kind of voices ever?
Is that my accumulator talking?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, maybe we do hear some of that. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So, oftentimes, and it depends, that's what it makes so interesting, because it's a combination. Now, someone who is a predominant accumulator, they are super frugal, right? They are super, super frugal. They are the ones, and it's my third archetype as well. But my first two archetypes are not spenders. So my accumulator doesn't have the little battle going on that yours does, right? So yeah. Your accumulator is probably exhausted, right? Yeah, absolutely. So, with my accumulator, it's the one that says, oh, just get so excited when the fridge is empty because I've used up all the leftovers, right? The other day when on the group, after you asked a question, and I actually use it all the time as a perfect example, because you said to us, so what's the first thing that you want to do when kind of the quarantine was lifted after COVID? And all the women in the group are going, well, a mani and a pedi. Well, yeah. I'm an accumulator. I'm going, a mani and a pedi. Oh, a manicure and a pedicure. I mean, the furthest thing from my mind. You see, my mind goes to, oh my goodness, you're going to spend $80 to have your toenails painted. And when I talk to accumulators that don't have a celebrity in those first three archetypes, that's exactly what they're saying. Like, oh no, we just paint our own. Okay.
That's so awesome. That is so awesome.
So now you can understand. You see, you have two spenders. Like you have a spender and a giver. You have a spender and a giver, and then you have the little accumulator here going exhausted, like really exhausted, because they like to save money, they like to be frugal, they like to get good deals. So I bet you when you do go shopping as the celebrity, you do try to find a good deal. Yes. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, there you go. See, of course, naturally, right? So that's how it makes it really fascinating, because now I can look at you in your business, and I can, when I'm working with my clients, and I can say, okay, so you're a nurturer, I can tell you right now, you're undercharging. You're absolutely giving away stuff for free, and then kind of go, oh yeah, well, it's so hard not to, right? And that's because they're a nurturer, right? Whereas if I have a ruler, they are out to build an empire. And
Yeah.
let me tell you, they work hard. They are dedicated. They're the ones that never take a break. And if they don't have a celebrity or a romantic, they are really working hard. Like if they don't have something that likes to spend money and just kind of pamper themselves or, have nice things, they're really working hard. So it just helps me to really understand, and it helps my clients to understand, Terilee, so they don't feel like there's something wrong with them or how to deal with this. And then, I can help people, say, as a nurturer, you need to have a little bank account that's your nurturing bank account so that you can give away that money and then you don't feel guilty about it, right? And that would make the accumulator feel so much happier. And then you need a little celebrity bank account so you can go shopping and again, not feel guilty. And the accumulator would just be delighted with that.
Okay. This is so good. This is so good. And then, as an aside, okay. So the minute I knew we were going to go on lockdown in Singapore, like the day before, I went out, and I am not that high maintenance, but like I went and got a fresh haircut, right? Went and got my fresh toes done, because I thought if I'm going to lockdown and don't know when I'm coming out, I'm going in fresh. And the minute it opened up, at first I thought they weren't opening up on that, and I was like, oh my God. But the minute that they did open up, I was back. So I'm not, you can tell I don't spend like hundreds coloring my hair, but it's so interesting, so interesting. And one thing that has helped me is to pay myself first. So every month there is an amount that comes out that's automatically drawn, automatically there. And that probably keeps my accumulator happy.
Very,
very happy, very happy.
very happy.
Because there's the rest of me that fights. So the being on lockdown and working from home, sometimes I'll think like it'd be fun to go get a new pair of shoes, but I'm like, for what? Because I don't wear them. So it's interesting. So maybe my accumulator is happy about that too. But anyway.
Oh, definitely.
Back to you, Jan.
So you can see how this could really help my client, but it also really helps me as the coach.
Yes, you have that understanding just exactly where we're coming from, and helps us be, I love not tests like this, but tools. I love assessments and tools like this that help me understand myself better. And say, so this is awesome. So I am so excited for other people to be able to take this assessment with you and learn, because why in the heck? I know many of us love to serve others. I know we have big whys, but for our business owner friends, if we're not in it to make money and build a legacy and take care of our family and have freedom, some of us are working way too hard then, right? If we're not in it to have some type of positive outcome like that. So what else would you like to share with us, Dan?
Well, one of the things that I've noticed is that there's not a tremendous amount of sales training for women. There's not even a lot of sales training, really, when you think about it. And I think it's because, first of all, a lot of people don't really feel comfortable teaching people how to sell. But also, it's like people think that, well, maybe if I go get a new, take a new course on some kind of social media thing, or maybe if I do this, or maybe if I change up my website, and it's kind of like ignoring this great big elephant in the room. And it is a huge elephant in the room. And it is that you need to learn how to sell, so I guess I was really blessed in a weird way, because being raised as a Jehovah's Witness, I had to sell. Like I had to go from door to door. I was trained to sell by the time I was 6. So I was ringing the doorbell and offering the Watchtower and Awake, by the time I was 6. And it was, I spent, till 38 years of age doing that. I was a missionary in Ecuador. When people talk about objections, I mean, my goodness, I've had dogs sicked on me. I've had hoses turned on me. I was mobbed by an angry village in Ecuador. So when people say, well, what if they say no? I mean, I have to say, I kind of smile, because like, it's okay. It's actually a good thing that people say no. So it's really all about getting comfortable with sales, because if you don't get comfortable with selling, you are never going to have the income that you want and need and deserve, right? So rather than kind of ignoring that, I'm just really encouraging women to step up to the plate, because when you learn how beautiful sales can be, it doesn't have to be yicky and yucky and slimy and sleazy and pushy and manipulative, which are the big 6 words I hear all the time. Mm-hmm. And it can be such a matter of fact, I heard the other day on a coaching call that I was on, and they said, sales is one of the most intimate conversations that you can have, because we often tell a salesperson things we don't talk about with other people, right? So we'll have an intimate conversation. But it's also a really sacred, thing to really be in that kind of communion with someone so intimately, having a conversation with them where they're telling you their thing, their problems, and where they're at and where they want to go, their dreams, their visions, their goals. And then you're able to bring your solution. I mean, how beautiful is that? There's nothing yucky or icky about it. And the reason that a lot of women get nervous and all, sweaty and butterflies in their stomach and would just rather walk over broken glass is because nobody's ever showed them the process. Nobody's ever taken them through it step by step, not only to, read a script. I mean, that's not going to work, but to have an outline so that they feel it in their heart and soul. And they really understand the psychology behind why you want to follow this process, so that they can't get lost, because they really just understand now the path and they understand where they're going. Whereas if you don't know that, you're kind of all over the map, and then you wonder why you don't make as many sales.
Yeah, so good. So good. So how can people connect with you to learn more? I have this right here. This is a wonderful way for people to get to know you better.
It's a fabulous way. Yeah. I mean, it's a great, I offer what I did for you. I offer free to anyone who does the assessment, Terilee, right? So they book, a 30-minute time with me. I do the assessment. I find out a little bit about their business, if they have a business, and, if it's a good fit for us to work together, great. And if not, that's totally cool too. It's not a sales conversation. It really is just a connection call. And it gives me an opportunity to learn about them. They get an opportunity to really see where maybe they're why they're struggling in their business, or why they've had the money conflicts and the fights. You can imagine a husband and wife having totally different money archetypes, right? Or a business partner. It can be really seriously challenging. So by starting with that, it's just a great place. And, my website is selllikeaqueen.com. So, I've always got, workshops happening. There's a new one that's coming up in November. And I'm just super excited about that one. But I'm here to support and help women grow their businesses. All right. That's my goal. That's my mission. It's totally being in service to women entrepreneurs so they can make the money they deserve. We can reach, my motto is 6 figures is the new minimum wage, right? Make the money we deserve so you can take care of yourself and make a difference in the world.
Awesome.
That's what it's all about.
So if you love Jan, if you just love how she is, and even love her creativity and her pull,
a lot of fun.
whole lot of fun business. Love the money architects. Want to know what yours is. Want to get in that discussion with her on sales. I just want to invite you to connect with her. So Jan is fun. She is talented, and I know that she can help you. So Jan, I want to thank you for your time today. Thanks for making a lot of things clear to me. My accumulator, I think that she needs a little staycation.
TLC. Oh, she needs a little TLC. Yeah.
She needs a break. She's just tired and worn out for sure. She's probably happy about the pandemic, because then I'm not out at the mall.
Absolutely. For sure. I love it. Although there is online shopping, right? So
there is. There is. Okay. But I'm serious. Seriously, just woman to woman and anybody watching, seriously, why do we need a lot of new clothes right now? Or at least in Singapore, we're not going out very much. No. And I just pop on screen, so why do we need, that would be, I don't know, now's the time to save some money, guys. Yeah. And that's coming from the nurturer celebrity. So, so everyone have a fantastic rest of your day. Jan, thank you so much. Always a delight to talk to you. Would love to do this again sometime soon. Absolutely. And everyone have a great rest of your day. And for those who will be starting to head into the weekend, happy weekend to you.
Thank you so much, Terilee.
You're welcome.